Welcome to Bangla City SATV News. This is Shibala Alam with our headlines. First dialogue of new election commission today. Academics will take part in discussions to create roadmap for the next elections. China will not build military base in any foreign land, including Bangladesh, said Ambassador Li Jiming. Russian troops killed 7 civilians near Kiev, said Ukraine's intelligence service. US would rush up to $200 million weapons to Ukraine. The Election Commission started dialogues with representatives of different professions and eminent citizens to prepare a roadmap for the Commission activities. In the first of a series of discussions, the Commission met with several eminent academics of the country at Nirbachan Bhavan today. The Commission also had dialogues with representatives of different classes and profession as well as the registered political parties. The Commission invited 30 academics in dialogues today. Chinese ambassador to Bangladesh Li Jiming said China will not build any military base in Bangladesh or any other foreign land. He made the remarks when his attention was drawn about a report carried by the Asia about China setting up Bangladesh missile maintenance hub. A report said with China preparing to set up a maintenance facility in Bangladesh for surface-to-air missile system it supplied in 2011. Referring to Bangladesh Foreign Minister A.K. Abdul Momen's statement over the issue, the Chinese ambassador said Bangladesh wants peace and that China exactly wants it. Meanwhile, the ambassador shared his thoughts on various issues including Bangladesh-China relations, Rohingya crisis, infrastructure, trade and investment, Quad, Indo-Pacific strategy and Taiwan situation. A Dhaka court today set May 10th for holding hearing on charge framing against a BNP chairperson Begum Khaltazia and 17 others in Gatco graft case. Dhaka Special Judge Court 3 refixed the date after defendant lawyer filing a plea for extending time of hearing on charge framing due to the absence of Begum Khaltazia for her illness. On September 2nd, 2007, the Anti-Corruption Commission filed the case against 13 people including Khaltazia and her younger son Arafat Rahman with Tejgaon police station on charges of misappropriating around Taka 1,000 crore while dealing with a global agro trade company limited. Next day, Khaltazia and Coco were arrested. The Director General of the Drug Administration has directed all of its division and district officials to collect samples of a Napa syrup produced by Beximco Pharmaceuticals Limited last December from the market and send those for lab tests. The directive also issued following deaths of 2 children on Thursday in Ashuganj Upazila under Brahmanbaria district after they were given the syrup dose of 120 mg with the expiry date in November 2023. All officials concerned have been directed to collect the syrup samples from all retail and wholesale markets and send those to the National Control Laboratory of the DGDA headquarters in Dhaka. Meanwhile, DGDA has banned the sale of Napa syrup across Brahmanbaria districts. 3 people were killed and several others were injured in a clash, reportedly over comment made on Facebook in Chamania Union under Gazipur's Kapashia last night. The clash happened last night between inhabitants in Kapashia Upazila in Gazipur. During the clash, several others were stabbed. They were rushed to Monohordi Upazila Health Complex, where doctors declared Naeem and Farooq dead. Reports said locals apprehended 6 people from the spot and handed them over the police. Meanwhile, police said they are investigating the incident. Viewers are taking a short break. Stay with Bangla City SATV News. Welcome back. You're watching Bangla City SATV News. Now the latest update on the war in Ukraine. 7 Ukrainian civilians were reportedly killed on Saturday when Russian forces fired at the convoy of people trying to evacuate near Kiev. Dalia Nilofer has the latest.
Ukraine's intelligence service accused Russia of firing at a convoy that was evacuating women and children from the village of Peremoha in the Kiev region, killing 7 people, including 1 child. It then said the Russian military forced the rest of the column to return to the village and about not letting them out of the area. It also adds that the total number of the wounded was unknown. According to Ukraine's Deputy Prime Minister Irina Vereshchuk, some 13,000 people were evacuated from a number of Ukrainian cities on Saturday. Separately, the United States announced that it would rush up to $200 million in additional weapons to Ukraine, while Russia warned that it considers arms convoys legitimate targets. Meanwhile, in a phone call on Saturday with French President Emmanuel Macron and German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, Russian President Vladimir Putin did not show a willingness to end a war with Ukraine, a French presidency official said. The French and German leaders reiterated that the call for an immediate ceasefire in Ukraine as a condition for full negotiations. Meanwhile, British Prime Minister Boris Johnson will host leaders from countries along Russia's northwestern flank next week to discuss ways that they can respond to President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine, including finding new ways to isolate Russia's economy. Besides, Britain's defense minister said fighting was raging northwest of Kiev on Saturday and that the bulk of Russian ground forces were now around 25 kilometers from the center of the capital. Daniel for SATV News Desk.
The death toll stands at 61 while a train crashed in Southeastern Democratic Republic of Congo on Saturday. 52 were also injured in the accident. The train was a freight service which had been carrying several hundred stowaways, said officials. Some of the bodies were still trapped in the wagons that had fallen into the ravines, it added. Rejecting India's claim to hold a court of inquiry of the accidental firing of BrahMos missile, Pakistan proposed to New Delhi a joint probe into the incident to establish facts since the missile had landed into Pakistani territory. The Foreign Office also asked why India failed to inform Pakistan immediately about the accidental launch of the missile. It also raised questions regarding the Indian safeguards against such happenings. However, India claimed that the missile was fired accidentally during a routine maintenance operation because of a technical malfunction and said a high-level court of inquiry had been ordered into the incident. Meanwhile, tens of thousands of people protested Saturday across France to call for more attention to the climate crisis in the run-up to presidential polls next month. Look up, read one message in giant orange letters. Demonstrators held up in Paris, urging politicians to make protecting the planet a priority. Organizers said 80,000 protesters took part across the country, including 32,000 people in Paris. In the northern city of Lille, Lydie Lampin-Bernard described the climate crisis as worse than critical. Now sports news. Bangladesh will play its third match in the Women's ODI World Cup tomorrow. This time the Tigers' opponent is Pakistan. The match will start at 4 a.m. Bangladesh time on Monday. Bangladesh is the only team close to Pakistan in strength and the ability among the 7 opponents in the World Cup. Nigar Sultana's team will face Pakistan in Hamilton with the dream of winning the first ODI in the Girls' World Cup. Despite losing the first 2 matches and starting the World Cup mission, the past statistics against the opponents are giving confidence to Bangladesh. Bangladesh has won 5 of the 11 matches against Pakistan. Winning the last 2 matches will keep Bangladesh ahead. Nigar Sultana, the thrilled captain, is all set to play against the favorite opponent. 4-time Grand Slam champion Naomi Osaka was brought to tears by a heckler Saturday on the way to a 6-0, 6-4 loss to Veronika Kudermetova in the Indian Wells WTA head court tournament, Japan's Osaka ranked 78 in the world after her third round exit at the Australian Open, which rocked early in the first set. She pleaded with the chair umpire to take action to no avail, and at 0-3 down in the second round match, her emotions spilled over. Osaka pulled herself together as resumed the match, but Kudermetova, the 21st seed, raced through the opening set before Osaka managed to hold serve to open the second. Although she lifted her game, Osaka couldn't capitalize on any of her 4 break points in the contest, and break off severe in the 7th game of the second set was enough for Kudermetova to capture the victory. Before ending, we go to the Euro-Bangla City SATV News headlines again. First dialogue of new election commission today. Academics will take part in discussions to create roadmap for the next elections. China will not build military base in any foreign land, including Bangladesh, said Ambassador Li Jimin. Russian troops killed 7 civilians near Kiev, said Ukrainian's intelligence service. US would rush up to $200 million weapon to Ukraine. You're up to date so far here on Euro-Bangla City SATV News, and to know the latest news, visit www.satvtv. Stay with SATV.